Okay, welcome back, everyone. Today we're supposed to cover on the friction that is the Vipaka itself, and also the cosmology. But I think we probably spend less time on cosmology, but more on the friction. So the exercise number 1, the Isidasi, there's a typo error, carrier, Theri. I think because of the English dictionary, they're trying to convert it back to Vihara, so they carry the power come. Did you watch the animation? Yeah, anything that you like to share, the point of view, you do not agree with the story, or is suspicious on the story? Anyone? What do you think? Do you think what happened to this Carrie is you do not agree that it's not supposed to be past life, or you fully agree that it is past life? Anyone? This terrier, Isidasi, I believe is taken from the Terigata. Terigata is one of the very old books in the scriptures here, describing all the ladies, meaning that the bhikkhunis during the Buddha's time, where they became arahant. Okay, and when they became arahant, normally they were, speak up some words, or there will be some, what do you call it, poetry, or verses that mentioned by them, which will be recorded in this Harikata. Many of them, yeah, and one of them is Isidasi. The stories is from the commentaries of the Harikata. Okay, so do you want to say something with it? Anyone? No question of the story. Fully acceptable.
Sir Yong, Fanny here.
Yes.
Actually, after I watched this, I watched another story, so a bit confused after a few days. So now I look back at the story of this one you attached lah. I think it's about last lah, right? So he's I think he was a goldsmith, right, in his past life, right? Then he got what is that lah? Then he because he's handsome so he got many partners, right? Right. I of course you ask me if it is karma. No, of course I believe lah. But it's like I find it that this human or animals or beings whatsoever lah, like we cannot run out from this lust. Right? Because there are so many stories about lust lah, Sister Yong. It's very scary, but then we are still there, still here. Round and round the wheel of life. How can we help ourselves lah? This is my first question lah. The second one is like, what's your question really? There are elements which are not pleasant experience. Okay, it's like in our daily life, I reflect on my present circumstances. Are there elements which are not pleasant experience, but we bear with it with understanding? Last, that one I cannot do anything because I don't know what the answer is, but it's like you talk about old age, you talk about death, you talk about rebirth, right? You understand but you just it's not pleasant you get old, you get rebirth, you get dying, so many uncertainties and fear, but you just have to bear with it because you cannot do anything, right? Then about sometimes I realize like human interactions, all this, right? Even though it's difficult, you actually a lot of times cannot do anything. It's like we just have to bear with it, the understanding it is like that, something like that. This is what I get lah. Sometimes it's like you understand, but then you cannot deny there is feelings, unpleasant feelings arises when you face old age, when you face death, when you face like when the human relationship is not pleasant, even though you understand, but I cannot deny there's an unpleasant feeling that arising, at that time. Yeah, this is after I watched this lah. And then I watched another one also about last month. So it's like, very scary and confusing. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, Penny, thank you, Penny. You brought up so many points. But one question that I probably, would like to ask everyone of us here. After understanding about all this suffering, becoming a Buddhist, are you having more suffering? Are you having less suffering? And that's what I'm trying to ask, becoming a Buddhist. You don't know so much before becoming a Buddhist. After becoming a Buddhist, wow, this is suffering, that is suffering, this is lust, this is anger. Suppose, you have more suffering. But look
I
at the
think less
last.
suffering. I think less suffering, but you understand more. But it's like helpless. It's like you can't help it. Then you see it is like that, the life. It's less suffering. If I don't know, maybe I dwell in the story, I even more suffering. Now it's like sometimes you can stay away and look at it, but it's like there's still I there experiencing, right? So you feel suffering.
That's why I think most of the monastic members look at it and cannot take it already. All this is suffering, what for? Striving for more suffering. So might as well just leave it aside, especially last. Yeah. So leave it aside and then becoming less and less greedy. Yeah. But it's not easy. It's not an easy job for everyone. And even for lay people, we who are in a householder, we still can take the opportunity to look into this last, and then leave aside the last for a little while by becoming epiceptors. Okay, even becoming epiceptors for one day, if we not face it, it is very beneficial for lay people, or meritorious deeds for lay people to observe precepts once in a while.
Yong, your voice got echo, sometimes not clear.
So what happened, yeah?
I think I'm not sure about others lah. Sometimes got
Let
echo.
me try to use another microphone because I have yeah. It could be because of microphone condition. Let me stop sharing first. And see my mic. I'll take out another microphone from okay, use the system phone. Is it better?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay, so coming to the topic just now, it's not an easy task, especially for lay people that we are dealing every day, all the time with sensual pleasures. That's why the monastic life has the advantage of leaving aside, a lot of these sensual pleasures, straight, full time, looking into the practice of letting go of these sensual pleasures. This is not easy job, really not easy job for lay people. We can try to leave, I mentioned just now, as the epiceptors, 1 or 2 days, and Gianna is full-time epiceptors now. I'm not sure whether you're aware. Gianna, would like to share a little bit about being an epiceptors. Are you feeling less, greed on the essential pleasures?
Oh, yes. I believe that after I started practicing the 8 precepts,
How many years ago?
now is the 3rd year, 2.5 years already. So it has dramatically reduced my sensual pleasure in terms of eating, in terms of watching TV and so forth, because it's like, previously I hardly on the TV also because I don't even know how to switch on the TV last time because just don't have interest. So, but then practicing it make me more mindful that to avoid that, even trying to learn how to use the TV and so forth. And out there, because of the reduction of the sensual pleasures, it gives me more time for my own cultivation, for my own practice. I have more time which I can spend more in a more purposeful and meaningful way. So these three additional precepts have actually, from my experience, helped me to reduce the degree of sensual pleasure in terms of watching show, even listening to music. Last time I used to go for movies. I have stopped that totally, and I'm not into listening to music anymore or anything like that. Someone just no more interest lah. It will just naturally die off, you know. I do not need to put an effort into doing it actually. It just happens like that. So that is my experience, and I think it has helped me greatly.
Okay, so for householder, becoming a full-time episode is quite challenging. But once a while, 1 or 2 days, I think will be a good choice. Yeah. So sometimes I observe during new moon and full moon. Now, one challenge is keep on reminding myself, no dinner, no dinner. After lunch, no more food, no more food. Forgetting, okay, no more food. It's like keeping away from food. Sometimes it's also challenging. Because so relaxed, right? For householder, anytime I want food, I want to get some ice cream, something that I like. It's so easily get. But now you're controlling yourself. So, okay, I encourage you all to observe 8 precepts when you can. Okay. One of the way for householder to be away from sensual pressures temporarily. Okay. So let's this time you mentioned about Fanny, you mentioned about sensual pleasure, agreed, right? Even more dangerous is wrong views. I think I shared with you one of the sutta, right, on is it dog aesthetic? That is bad, isn't it? Yeah, whole life as a practice as a dog, and next life you're becoming a dog. That is scary. Yeah, wrong views is even more, it's even worse than the greed itself. Okay, so that's why we have to practice noble effort path. The very first thing, noble effort path, right view. Yeah, which is very, very super important. I'm not sure whether I shared with you one sutta or not. I can share with you afterwards if I find it not shared. There was one ascetic asking about, I think it's from Jains, yeah, Jains, Jains. The Jain ascetic asking the Buddha about which one is more dangerous, about the action to what do you call that? To body, to speech, and to mind. Which one is the most dangerous? The Jains ascetics say for his belief, that he believes the same things, that it was the action by the body is the most dangerous. So what do you think, brothers and sisters, all sisters here, participants here, what do you think is the most dangerous between these three? The body, speech, and the mind. The Jains said the body action is the most dangerous. For Buddhists, what do you think? Which of the three is more dangerous? Body is dangerous because you kill someone with your body, right? Yeah, you hurt someone, you have someone have a sexual misconduct. It's all through body. So it's supposed to be body is most dangerous. What do you think? It's a mind. The Buddha said, for Jains, the body. Is it true? He asked 3 times. Yeah, it's the body is dangerous. But then the ascetic asked by the Buddha, for you, which one is the most dangerous? He said, the mind is most dangerous, especially when wrong views. Yeah. Greed also come from the mind, right? Not the body greed, but the greed in the mind. Hatred, delusions, all this in the mind itself. So the mind is more dangerous, most important. The one who do the most serious crime is the mind, not the body. Okay, so anyone else who would like to share about the animation? Let me share my screen again.
There is one interesting section of that story, Sister Yong.
Yes.
Regarding the subsequent rebirth of the goldsmith, after suffering in a hell and as an animal, and then became a human again, and he became a hermaphrodite in one of his birth. So I think we relate it back to our present life, which surrounding our society. We also have groups of people who are similar in this kind of condition. They are born as hermaphrodite, or mentally or physically, they don't define themselves as the very general mass society, opposite sex attracts, but they are attracted to same sex, or they cannot relate to their physical sex, gender, like the LGBT, those kind of things. So there is a lot of questions like, why are they born like this? So I think in this story, if this is a real story, I think the Buddha has probably mentioned in some of the suttas, one of the consequences of being born, which is in the minority group, in terms of gender and sex, it could be due to sexual misconduct. So this gives a lot of maybe negative, view on this group of people. But I think as a practicing Buddhist, we should be rather looking at the compassionate part, while seeking to understand. It could be because of Kamma and Vipaka, because certain actions due to lust, unrestrained sexual behaviors, that is sexual misconduct, that could give rise to this kind of people. So just exploring this part objectively without judgment, being judgmental.
Yes, and it's not an easy topic to to discuss, especially about past life. A lot of people, they don't believe in past life, so this is another challenge. Yeah, so
Yeah. Because we can see this group of people, the LGBT, their life is mainly maybe a huge part, they are not happy because maybe the society don't accept them. They receive a lot of prejudice, a lot of discomfort, and so this kind of unhappiness that they experience in their life is a suffering, which I think we also suffer, probably in different ways. So we see they suffer. They are also human, fellow living beings. We should have compassion for them, and if they have right view, with fresh karma, they can generate a wholesome karma, and in the future their life will also bear good vipaka, good results with the right view.
Okay, Sister Kamanta has a message. Can we check with Sutta with any Bhante before about that misconduct in the past life for LGBTQ? Okay, as I mentioned just now, it's not an easy topic to discuss. Okay, and frankly, in the Vinaya, that monastic normally, well, I'm not a Vinaya expert. If they are found to be homosexual, they're not allowed to join the monastic. But apparently, I heard that there's a sangha, Western sangha, which allowed homosexual people to join the sangha, which may include some problem, not easy to be tamed. It doesn't matter actually what kind of a sexual drive. Yeah, it can be the similar or the opposite sexual drive, but both will have problems. We know. But according to Vinaya, not for the monastic. Okay, more problems because they're all the same sex anyway, same gender in the sangha. Like it the problem. Okay, can't discuss this in detail because it's not an easy topic. Okay, so any sutta, well, I will look for that. Kamanta, share with you later. Okay.
Thank you. Why I actually asked this, because I think in the Q&A chat group with Bhante Ariya Dhammika, she's from yes. someone actually raised something like this, I think just 1 or 2 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, nobody talk about this sutta. I'm actually quite interested when you go into that, because I only remember over 10 years ago I attended one of the conference, not conference, like it's just a sharing in like I mentioned, it's in this Kamma Vipaka. We had that session. We invited LGBT group into the Samadhi Vihara. We have this kind of forum talking about this. Ever since then, of course, now nobody actually had this kind of session. So this is why, I like to pursue further. That's something.
Thank you for bringing this out. Definitely, we do not have enough time to discuss on this topic, and it is not an easy topic to discuss. Okay,
but the thing is, I think we have to be responsible when we actually bring this up, because there's a lot of misunderstanding. And then start, without really do very much detailed research. When we share this again, it's like difficult to, because after this class, I'm not sure what's going to go out again. You see. So thank you.
So something related is the number 4, the dog ascetic. This is what I heard. I think that's why I brought up this sutta. I heard from Ariya Mangala that there are some devotees come to her saying that their children are quite into this, the homosexual things, the gay things. Not because they're born with it, because it's a trend. It's like, it is a trend now. People are trying to be, they call it, what's the name called in the Western? They call it binary, non-binary. I mean, you're not girl, you're not boy. Both sides also can. And it's a trend, And that was something very scary. Not because you are born with that kind of sexual drive, or your body physiologically needs, but it's a trendy kind of things that you become non-binary. That is scary. And you're trying to imitate, that group of people who are like that. So this is similar to the dog ascetic, right? Wrong views. You thought this is the correct way, a trendy way, people becoming like that. You are very advanced in the society if you're becoming non-binary. Yeah. So just be careful. So that's why I put out this sutta number 4. Okay. What is in the past affecting our present life? Well, we cannot control, right? But what happened now, we shouldn't imitate. Okay. And not only, I'll discuss about it when it comes to number 4. Yeah. So it's a big topic, LGBTQ. It's not easy to, to talk about it, but I think we probably can have one in the future. Yeah. We've invited normally the monastic side, what is our point of views, and I'll try to dig something from Sutta, see if I can find. And I believe the Western monastic, like Ajahn Sujato, they might already discuss this topic before. Yeah. Okay. So anyone else would like to share on number 1? There's another chat room. Hold on. Confusion trend. Yeah. I learned this word non-binary from my niece. She says in Ireland, it is very common, people will identify themselves as non-binary. And her university's friends, if you open up their bag, you will see, whiskey. University students have whiskey in their bags, Panadol in their bags. So why is this? Undergraduate students with whiskey, Panadol in their bags. And they said, I'm non-binary. Okay, anyway. So, okay, anyone else want to share for number 1? Animation story. It's enough. Then we continue with
I'm
the
Sister
second.
Millie. So regarding the non-binary, this type of this
Sister Melia,
yes.
your voice is a bit low. Maybe you have to speak closer, yeah, to the computer.
I want to check further on the topic, the non-binary group of people.
Uh-huh.
I met this friend, this type of my daughter's friend during my visit to UK last month. So actually, my friend, she's one of my daughter's group friend, quite close. So how would we advise my daughter how to deal with this
To advise your daughter how to deal with it.
Yes.
So, yeah, we have so many participants here. Anyone would like to try? What will you advise your children if your children happen to be in, with this kind of groups, this kind of peers who are non-binary? Do you discourage them to join them? Or will you advise them to be careful, to stay away?
You show them the Sutta number 4 lah, dog duty aesthetic lah. And then
Yes.
you talk about trend, I also realized the protection, the compassion giving to the, what Sister Surin say, I don't know, it was like LGBT, is it? What?
LGBTQ.
A trend, now a trend. You talk to my teenager, they will say, hey, hello, don't look at them differently, It's, I believe that one is also a trend to protect them.
Yeah, they say me, and if I let's say something bad, they say, oh, you're outdated already.
You're outdated. Okay, that's why I say it's a trend. Parents, please have some concern on this topic. Because the children in the universities are facing this kind of issues.
I think it's very common in overseas. Very common.
Especially Western countries.
Yes.
In Malaysia, you're not allowed to discuss at all.
They're not allowed to openly like showing to others, but also they are very public. It's very free.
So, friends, any suggestions? Parents?
Sorry, what was the question? Sorry, can you rephrase again? You're saying that you find a child involved in this group of people, was it?
Yes,
What would you
children,
right?
Their children are being, with especially in the overseas countries, where the young people, a lot of them will announce that they are non-binary. Okay, and if you are not non-binary, they will say you're outdated. You should join them. They invite your children saying to join them.
Yeah, I wouldn't say yes or no, but because I think here, we don't have the understanding first. How LGBT groups come about first? What caused that? I think one day, Ariya Dhamika has actually shared that, but I think Sister Suchan, you might know because you are in the QAA group. So Yong, I will share with you the entire correspondence. I'm not sure how then you share with this group of people, because I'm not in the group actually. I was actually last minute joined when I asked Sister Siu King. So I didn't know you have all this homework. So anyway, I wouldn't have answer for you, because unless you have the understanding how LGBT comes about. When you have the understanding and you have the compassion, then you know how to advise a child. Yeah.
Can I say something? I'm Sin Loy here.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. I studied in Melbourne University 20 over years ago, 27 years, I think. Okay, and then there's this, they have all sorts of societies, right? And then there's these societies for lesbian. And then there's this society for gay, homosexual. And then I don't know what is it. Then out of curiosity, because I'm very curious in university, and then I just joined their workshop sessions, and then they talk about it. I just listen, only just observe. And then, because I was also searching my own identity, so they didn't ask me to join. Nobody asked me to join anything. But anyway, I'm just saying that after learning the Dhamma, Sutta, and all this, I believe that because we are the 5 precepts, first thing is, what do you call that?
The third one.
The third one, the sexual misconduct, we should refrain from that. So whether regardless is homosexuality or the heterosexuality, is the same thing. It's all about lust, all about desire, all about craving. So whether people ask your children or your friend or whoever to join, usually I don't think that will happen because as a minority, you always get bullied. You also very afraid of people to find out, So why do you see more people talking about this topic now? It's because it's more open of social media, of course. And then there's more and more people exposing themselves. So that's why you see that it is a trend, but actually it's not. Like many years ago, it's already there. Like even like modern history, maybe in ancient history, they dig out a lot. There's already there. And then actually I know people who are homosexual also and then I ask them, why do you choose to be homosexual? They say, it's not because I choose to be. I've questioned in my mind, and then they say, most of them, they will answer, I'm born like this, most of them. So I think first thing to consider about this group of people, they are still minority, like what you say, but we have to see them as a human person first, a human being. So to find out, to understand why are they like that? Is it because of choice? Or is it because of they really like, it is me, like I like chili. I just love chili. I don't know. I cannot answer why, something like that. So for us, of course, we will be confused, afraid, because we don't know what it is, and we are not exposed to it. We are not used to it, So we have a lot of questions. So it's okay if as long as you ask and with a non-judgmental way, and be compassionate to listen to what they want to say, and then just treat them as a person first. So maybe if you are just curious about your children's friend, then go make friend with them lah. Ask them why they choose to be binary, or what is binary?
Non-binary.
Or non-binary. Yeah. So so just find out first. I will suggest that lah. Yeah.
Thank you, Sister Sinloy. Due to time constraint, okay, I probably will just ask a quick question. When we say, this group, it may not be this group, it may be within us, one of us here, some of us here,
Yes,
own family members,
Yes, agree.
who are non-binary. So we are not discriminating them. It could be one of us. So maybe one question that I will ask. Okay. Be mutual, be mutual. If this person is a lesbian or is a gay, as parents or another person, another third-party person, you look at this gay or lesbian together with his or her partner. As family members, do you think it is acceptable in the society? Yes or no? Yes or no? In our society? No, right? Quite not, quite not, quite not. Would they be happy?
I guess it's a mixture. Maybe between themselves they are happy, but with the society they are not happy.
Yeah. So, well, in my point of view, I'm not judging, just in my point of view, there'll be a lot of sufferings, especially within the family. Okay, you can't get married. Likely parents will say no. And some families will say, okay, let's cut off from families. You are not my children anymore. Likely lah, and the stress from the society, I would say that this will be more suffering than happiness. I mean, just generally, it's not judgmental, it's just at my own view. Okay, so if it's a choice, choose for more suffering, or better stay away. Yeah, you have to ask your own children. Those children nowadays, you cannot force them. Don't join that, don't do this, don't do that. Very difficult. No, it's a choice. You want to be happy or more suffering? Okay, let's go into the second topic. Sutta on the appearance by aspiration. What are the qualities needed to be reborn in the sense sphere realm, material and immaterial realm, and liberation? This is a topic related to the session 2. Remember, Fanny, you asked, well, we observe the 10 wholesome deeds, and they can choose which sphere to go already, which realm to go. It should be enough by just observing the 10 wholesome deeds, right? But this sutta tell a little bit more, isn't it? Summarized in the screen here. So the sutta mentioned that besides, of course, the 10 wholesome deeds, there are these 5 qualities. Yeah, and the 10 wholesome deeds by right should be in the virtues. Yeah. So once we have faith, virtues, learning, generosity, and learning, and this person can make the aspiration that he wanted to be reborn, taking rebirth in the company of well-to-do nobles and Brahmins. So nobles and Brahmins, are these human realms? These are human realms, right? The nobles, they can be rich people, well-to-do people, right? The Brahmins are the religious people in India at the time, the Brahmins. So these are human realm. So by just having these 5 qualities and the aspiration, a good rebirth in the human realm, you can do that. You can. And then similarly for the gods of the heaven, yeah, of the 4 great kings, you can take a seat. Yeah. Yes. Gods of the 4 great kings, gods of the heaven of the 33. Yeah. And creating another sensual world, yeah. Willpower over others' creation. These are the gods of the heavens. Yeah. This is possible with these just 5 qualities and aspiration. Well, in the sutta, it also mentioned if you want to be take rebirth in the Brahma of 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, and even 100,000. These are different levels of the Brahma realms. Okay, including the higher one will be God of Radiance, Akanita. So there are many levels of the Brahma realms here. Beside these qualities, you need perversions. Yeah, the mind. Perversions is related to cultivation, bhavana, where you cultivate the mind. Perversion is like spreading the mind. Okay, with loving kindness, for example. Yeah, into the whole world, the whole universe, 1,000 world system, 2,000 world system, etc. That means you are going into very deep kind of meditation. I think Kasina, if you've heard it before, is one of the 40 objects of the samatha meditation object, Kasina, using color, the color as your object of meditation. This pervation of the mind, including the loving kindness meditation, compassion, yeah, the 4 Brahma Vihara, yeah, is a pervasions meditation, and divine eye, pervasions of the light. That means that you will be using the light as the object of meditation. Body aura, so it's one of it, as mentioned in the sutta. This sutta can bring rebirth to the Brahma of 1,000, 2,000, and 100,000. Okay, and the third one, okay, is another deeper level of meditation. So this is the 4 jhanas, and this is the other 4 jhanas. So we have the 8 jhanas altogether. So the other 4 higher jhanas, yeah, will be into the realm of infinite space, infinite consciousness, nothingness, neither perception nor non-perceptions. So this is the highest already. So these 3 world system, can you name it? For those who who have studied before, can you name this? The first one, what realm is that? Anyone? Any suggestions? What realm is that? It's related to Buddhist cosmology, yeah?
Sukha Dukkati, is it?
This is the, what realm, what category of realm is this? Yeah.
Celestial, is it? Is it celestial?
Yeah, is the sensual pleasures, yeah?
Sense-
Where we feed our nutrition for our life is greed. Yeah, greed of sensual pleasure. So Penny, this is why we are here. Sensual pleasure is our object. We always deal with sensual pleasure in these human realms, right? Even the heavens. Yeah. And this second, the Brahma realms. Yeah. The material realms. The very fine material realms. Okay. And the third one, immaterial. Yeah. The Arupa Jhana. So we have the Rupa Jhana and the Arupa Jhana. This is a deeper level of meditation. If you attend the Arupa Jhana, and you make the aspirations with the Arupa Jhana, you can make the aspiration to be reborn in these higher realms. You can do that. So all these requisites to choose which realm that you want to be reborn is all here already. Yeah. Okay. And of course, in the sutta also the Buddha mentioned, now if you want to be enlightened, to fully out of all this realm of existence, yeah, you need to have liberation of mind, liberation of the wisdom, yeah, which is basically the samatha and the vipassana. Okay, liberation of the mind, liberation of wisdom. Okay, for enlightenment.
Wisdom, liberation of wisdom.
Yes, mentioned in the sutta.
What is how?
Okay, how, so Sister Vipaka explained how liberation of wisdom, how liberation of the mind. What do you think? What are the practices that can lead to liberation of mind, liberation of wisdom? What will be your answer? Participants, what will be your answers? How to achieve liberation of mind, liberation of wisdom?
Noble Eightfold Path.
Yes.
Noble Eightfold.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always the Noble Path. Yes.
Then my next question is, I also know Noble Eightfold Path, but okay, let's say if I practice faith, virtual learning, generosity learning, and make an aspiration. So which is the place where I can still continue to cultivate and walk the Noble Eightfold Path? Because I'm not enlightened yet, right? And I'll go rebirth and rebirth,
Yeah.
right? So how do we make an aspiration? Or we don't need to care which plane is it, but we just make their aspiration that we get reborn in a place that we still can continue to walk this path in every moment.
Yes.
So what do you think? What kind of a rebirth will you choose that will be the best to practice until when we reach liberation of mind and liberation of wisdom?
I'm not sure about sensual pressure, Ram, because it's like when you are human being, you have suffering. Because of suffering, then you look for happiness. That's how we have Buddhist, the teachings of the Buddha, right? But I heard of some heavens that there's only happiness. It's just like you listen to the music, you also forgot to cultivate because it's so happy. So I just want to know the answer. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, our sisters here in the group, I don't know why no brothers here. Okay. So what do you think? Yeah, Fanny's question. You know, since we have so many realms of existence for you to choose. Probably you will choose what they call the Western paradise, 西方极乐世界, as a plain existence to cultivate, keep on cultivating, even after already passed away, right?
But it's not in our study, right? Because there was like,
well, that could be in that could be in a sensual pressure world. Yeah.
Sorry.
It could be. The Western paradise could be in the sensual world. I mean, it's one of the heaven realms, you know. There's so many realms here, so many, different level of heavens here, you know. God
a
of
lot of people around me, there are so many, they already decided they are going there.
Assuming that the Western paradise, Sivantila, is one of these haven't read. It's true. You know, I read the Western Paradise Sutta also. Amitabha, I read. It's interesting. You know, in Amitabha, it says in that word system in the Sutta it mentioned that there are people who are enlightened. There are also arahants, and many arahants there. Yes, yes. If so, there are many arahants, and there are many lay people, and there are many bodhisattvas. There are also enlightened people like arahants, and many of them, because the Buddha is still alive there in the Western Paradise. He haven't passed away into Parinibbana. Yes, according to the Sutta. Okay.
According to the Sutta.
Yeah, according to the Sutta, yes. The Buddha is still alive there, and his lifespan is very, very long. He's still there. And his disciples are arahants. I'm not surprised, because if the Buddha is there, sure you have arahants in it. So not only bodhisattva, yeah. It mentioned very clearly there are many, many arahants there. So the question is, there are arahants already. So you cannot say it's a Mahayana Sutta, you know.
So the arahants are
Anyway, I don't want to make more confusion. Come back to the topic, all right? Which of the realm that, you know, like Fanny says, you know, which one do you think that it is that you may want to choose, yeah, in the next life? Any suggestion?
Tusita heaven.
Tusita.
Choose one.
Tusita. One saying Tusita. Wow. Okay.
And choose one, man, Sister Yong.
You can choose. Wow, the Sutta say you can choose. It's
That's
not
my question also.
So you can choose only according
It's
to
not joking, you know, the
am
Buddha
I
said you
right?
can choose, you
What I'm
know.
trying to say is,
Can I choose immediately to liberation of mind and liberation of wisdom?
Of course.
with
Immediately
efforts,
there.
there must be outright efforts as well, right?
You have to be
No more
I
arahant
don't say
to
I
be
sit here,
more.
I wish that, you know.
Uh,
No, it's not going to happen. That's what I'm trying to say.
yeah. And okay, what's the time now? I always have to look at the clock. If one more hour to go. So any more chance that you want to choose? Now, your choice to choose now. You know, faith, virtue is easy, right? Learning, you're learning now. You're very generous. And I have two learnings, I think, typo. One of it shouldn't be learning. But anyway, you have all these qualities and you can make the aspiration. So which realm that will you choose? I have my own answer. Yeah.
Liberation of mind and wisdom, I don't think
You don't think you can make it this life?
Mm.
Yeah.
it's
Okay.
not easy.
Mm,
Yeah,
okay.
that one you have to be, you know, in the monastery, you have to, you know, really practice until almost like
Actually, yeah.
your level.
For I think for some very serious practitioner, they will say, don't wait already, this life lah.
This life.
This life. Don't wait next life, this life. Yeah, you're crawling, you know, we are lay people, we're crawling, you know, very difficult.
Yeah.
But how difficult it is, we still have to try, right?
At least, you know,
we still have
improve
to try.
little bit, one cm, 1 inch, 1 cm, 1 inch, that we cultivate each, you know, little bit,
Little by little, little by little.
This is my way of aspiration,
yes,
but want to be woo, you know.
And that is why there is also you know, many years ago I have this thought, since in Theravada we talk about the Sotapanna, right? Since Sotapanna can guarantee, you know, in Theravada point of view, guarantee Theravada, if you can attain Sotapanna shape, then next life, if you come back as a human, no problem. But at most 7 life, okay, you will be enlightened. At most 7 life. So many years ago, so many years ago, I have this thought, maybe we should look for Sotapanna first, step by step.
Yes. Sotapanna
Then I think a lot of Buddhists now nowadays also have this thought, Sotapanna, not difficult one.
Entry or stream pun makanya susah.
Yeah. And what are the qualities to become a Sotapanna? You still remember? Huh? You have faith, right? It's a triple gem. What else? Come, participants? Those who aspire to become a Sotapanna? You have strong faith with a triple gem. That means that your faith will not it will not be shaking one. It's very firm one, triple gem.
No,
There's one more. So are you firm in your confidence in triple gem? Are you firm? If I don't ask you.
Yes.
Sister Vipaka say yes. That is one quality already. Next is you must not break any more precepts.
But they want susah sikit.
He said susah sikit. So susah sikit no, but at least you already have in mind that you will not break any precepts. Then it's already, the quality is there. Yeah, so it's not that difficult, isn't it? Yeah. Strong confidence in the Buddha Dhamma and Sangha.
Do not break.
Yeah, you will not break the precepts. You will not have wrong views, especially the believing that the I view. This is I myself. I'm always there. I have a permanent soul. Yeah, the concept of I is already start to break out already.
But they want also susah sikit.
Now because of the ideas of I are so strong. That's why I want to enjoy. Isn't it? I want to enjoy. This is mine.
Especially you got children.
So when the I started to break up, that's why when sometimes you look at the stories, stories in the Jataka, how can the prince give away his wife, give away his children for charity? Strange, isn't it? But when your eyes started to break out, and you know that they're going for a good place, you can let go. But for us, very difficult. So if you say that, oh, I'm okay already, I practice well already, so I will give you, if I ask you, can you give away all your
Property.
Yes.
Your siblings.
So Vipaka, you're now full-time as preceptor. Can you do that?
We said can.
Can you give away your properties now?
Belum lagi.
Not ready yet. Once you can do that, there is a strong sign you are on the way for
Slowly
Sotapanna.
now expose all the things. No more buying more. Just
Okay, what's the time now? Okay, 3:05. All right. So this sutta give us an overview that it is possible for us, to make the aspiration, which realm to be reborn. It is possible. This sutta gives us a very clear idea. And the Buddha never says it's bad to go to heaven, The Buddha did not say that. You can choose, if you have this kind of qualities, you make the aspirations, you can do that. And he never blamed, that whoever is making this kind of aspiration to be reborn in this world system. But of course, the best choice to the Buddha is liberation of mind and liberation of wisdom, which is directly targeted for people. Targeted for people who are already in a monastic. Agree?
No, just now you mentioned as to be Sotapanna also must give up your property, your sibling, all that is almost.
And not that you must. When you are ready,
slowly,
when you're ready to give away.
Give away.
Yeah.
So it's also like you are taking 10%. You cannot hold money. You cannot hold property.
You have to leave family.
You have to leave all your
families,
your siblings, everything. No more connection.
Yes.
Correct. So it's you're keeping.
So monastic training is for that to pick up the concept of I. Away from families, away from our properties, away from essential pleasures. When you start, you're willing to let go of all this, the I is already started to be shaking already.
Belum lagi.
So that's why monastic training is should be faster in training the practitioner to become enlightened. Monastic life.
Sotapanna pun sudah cukup loh.
Sotapanna is already enough? Not enough.
Gradually lah.
Okay. So anyone else would like to share? No? We move on to the next one, I come to this niyama okay. Okay, the next sutta. Okay. I would like Sujin to share, yeah, the Kamma Vipaka Sutta, which is in the Majjhima Nikaya 136. Okay. And this Kamma Vipaka Sutta, from the name itself, you already know it's related to karma. So, Sujin, you'd like to share the slide? I'll pass over to Sister Sujin.
Yeah. So allow me to share slides. I think I need permission to share.
Oh, okay. Wait, I didn't see that. Yeah, I stopped sharing. Okay. I'm not sure whether I have to make you as co-host or not. Let me try to make you become co-host. Okay. We are co-host now. Yes, Sujin.
Okay, thanks. I've just made some slides to summarize because it's quite a lengthy sutta with lengthy sentences. So can be quite long and confusing sometimes. Just roughly on the first part where the sutta starts with this Pottaliputta, who's a wanderer, and met with a disciple of the Buddha who is called Sumidi. Yeah? Can you see my slide, Sumidi, the notes? Or just the PowerPoint presentation?
Just PowerPoint.
Just PowerPoint, yeah. Okay, so Pottaliputta met with Venerable Samidi, and he said he actually heard personally from the Buddha, and he said that, bodily action is vain, verbal action is vain, but only mental action is real. There is that attainment on entering which one does not feel anything at all. So vain here actually means fruitless. It means our bodily actions will not bear any consequence. Verbal action will not bear any fruits or consequence. Only mental action is real and will bear consequence. This is the understanding of Pottaliputta, which Venerable Samidi, he say, no, the Buddha did not say this. Yeah, but Samidi couldn't explain what the Buddha said, which to counter what Pottaliputta said. But then he has certain interpretation of his own understanding towards the Buddha's teaching. And Venerable Samidi say, having done an intentional action, which we say karma, by way of body, speech, or mind, one feels suffering. That is the Venerable's interpretation. So is this interpretation correct? Yeah, so this one is brought then to the Buddha to have further clarification. Now, when it's brought to the Buddha, another monk called Venerable Udayin, he made another statement after listening to what they reported. Venerable Udayin actually interpret that, whatever is felt is suffering. That means all feelings are suffering. That is his conclusion. So I'd like to ask fellow participants here, in your own mind, your understanding on suffering, on life, is there any part of your view have some degree of resemblance to Pottaliputta or Venerable Samidi or Venerable Udayin? Any of you have any similar view? Maybe not 100%, certain percentage of similar view. Maybe you can give an example. I do have an example. this is more about our inner thinking thoughts process. Like when we maybe achieve something successful in our life. Do you feel it is not right to feel happy as a Buddhist? Because the Buddha said happiness in this world is impermanent, subject to change. So that's why as a practicing Buddhist, feeling happiness is like equivalent to attachment, craving, which leads to suffering. So sometimes in our mind, we tend to deny this happiness because we are so afraid of this happiness can become an attachment that will lead us to suffering. Because of that, then we don't want to celebrate birthday. We don't want to enjoy a cup of tea because we feel that if we enjoy this word enjoy, it's like very sinful like that. Do we have this kind of thoughts? Because as a Buddhist, our goal is achieving equanimity, is not achieving happiness. So do we have this kind of thoughts or not?
Sis Suchen, I'm Sinloy here. I always question myself about this. Okay, so let's say, can I enjoy a peace of mind? If I have peace of mind and I enjoy it and I'm happy about it, then I will feel guilty about it. So it's very, very conflicting. So for my understanding is that, for me, I make it simple for myself to understand, is that whenever we have expectation and that expectation is not met, then we will feel suffering, but it's actually internal. Whatever happened is already happened. So I actually started my meditation journey with Vipassana meditation by Goenka. And during the discourse, he always mentioned only two things, craving and aversion. And then craving and aversion, I believe for myself, starts from my expectation, which is my thinking, you know. So from there, if I can lessen my expectation and learn to be more non-judgmental and to accept whatever it is, and then to move forward, to face whatever aversion or to face my craving and overcome it with tools that I have learned in Buddhism, then it can help to lessen my suffering. That is what my understanding is. Yeah.
I also experienced this before, and I think I asked this question to Sister Suchen before. Yeah, because I'm so afraid of like the opposite side of it, because you know, after happiness, then you have another opposite of it, unpleasant feeling. But after a while, I realized that feelings is just feeling as it is. So sadness is just sadness, happiness is just happiness. So what I learned is like what I'm trying to learn, I'm doing is like when happiness arises, I observe it at that moment. Then there are some, of course, not every time I can do that, but sometimes when I observe when happiness is there, a lot of lightness in the body. It means you don't feel much, you know. That's why very happy. When you feel sad or tension, your body very tense. You can feel hardness here or somewhere. But happiness is so light that you hardly can feel. But I know that is happiness. When I experience happiness, that's the body. The body, how do I say? When I observe the body, is like that. You know. Then sometimes I observe the mind. One more. You know, one more. Or I observe the mind, there's a fear of losing it, you know, no more. So after all the years like learning, right, this is what I understand now. Actually, happiness is just that moment, it's just another feeling. But before that, I actually, what like Sister Suchen said, I'm like, the more I don't want it, the more I crave for it. It's like I suppress it, so I want more.
Yeah, I think we have to separate that feelings arise. We have pleasant feelings, unpleasant feelings, and neither pleasant nor unpleasant feelings. So when pleasant feelings arise, these are natural. The danger part is not the feeling. The danger part is what's next. Are we craving? Are we attached to this feeling? That is the second part which we should look out for. That is the danger. That is the sankhara. But feelings itself is actually a natural phenomenon. So that's why when we look back at this, like this Udayin says, feelings are suffering. So it's categorically is a wrong view. What the Buddha actually subsequently he made clarification. So allow me to go to the next slide. This is what the Buddha said. Yeah? So the Buddha said, having done an intentional action by way of body, speech, or mind, whose result is to be felt as pleasant, one feels pleasure. So just like what Sister Penny said, when you do an action, which is a karma, which the result is expecting to bring something that is happy, then you will feel the happiness. And if you do the action, which the result is expecting to be painful, that means the action which is unwholesome, which is expected to bear result of painful, then you will feel the pain. Okay. And the third category is the action which is felt to be neither pain nor pleasure, then you will also feel a feeling that is neither pain nor pleasure. So this is real, right? Because feelings are natural phenomena and they are real. Okay, so this one, the Buddha did not say this is suffering. This is just a fact of life. Yeah, he just explained to us the kinds of feelings that we will experience when we do certain actions. Yeah, according to Kamma and Vipaka. So the Buddha also proceed to say there are 4 kinds of persons, referring to human beings, because he was talking and talking to humans, right? So if a person were to perform unwholesome actions, so in the sutta he mentioned 10 types of unwholesome actions, bodily actions, killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, and then also 4 kinds of false speech, yeah, lying, divisive speech, abusive words, gossiping, and then 3 kinds of unwholesome mental actions, which are covetousness, which is greed. The next one is ill will or anger, and the last one is wrong view or ignorance. Yeah. So he say if a person were to perform killing and the rest of the unwholesome actions with wrong view, then he is expected to receive unhappy consequence. And when he passed away, his next rebirth is expected to be born in a state of deprivation or unhappy destination, including hell. So I put here, the first one is represented as the hell, the second is the hungry ghost, and the third one is in the animal realm. So these are the states of deprivation for those who are reborn. They are reborn in the suffering state and unhappy state because of the unwholesome actions that they have done in the past, in the past life. And the Buddha also said their second kind of persons is he has done unwholesome actions, but he is reborn in a happy destination, including in heavenly world. So this is the second category. Third category is a person who refrains from unwholesome actions. He does not do killing, he does not steal, he has right thoughts. And he can be reborn in a happy destination in his future rebirth. Yeah, even in his present birth, he also experienced happiness. And when he died, he experienced a place, he's reborn in a happy destination. But the fourth kind of person is even he refrains from unwholesome actions, he is reborn in a state of deprivation. So this is like event tree analysis. So it's like there are many possibilities. Here the Buddha already give us 4 possibilities of the consequence that you will experience in this life and in the future life. And then the Buddha actually proceed to say, if a person who is well practiced in meditation, he attains such a kind of concentration that gives him the ability to have divine eyes, that he can see the past life and the present life of another person. So he said this person, we call him a Brahmina in this case, who has this divine eye. He can see, okay, maybe A and D, A for and D, he performed unwholesome actions in his past life. Then he can see in this life, he is born in a state of unhappy destination. Okay, so he could recognize, because of his past unwholesome actions, now he is reborn in a state of unhappy destination. Then he also see another person, B, let's say, who also perform unwholesome actions with wrong view, but in his next life, he is reborn in a happy destination and heavenly world. Then he will make conclusion. It means even though B has done an unwholesome action, but these unwholesome actions will not have consequence that is unwholesome or unhappiness to him, but in fact, he can still enjoy himself in the next life. Okay, so another Brahmin who also have divine eye, he may be able to see another person who does not do any harmful actions, but he died, he is reborn in a happy realm. Then he makes a conclusion, oh, this person, because of refraining from harming others, that's why his next birth, he is happy. But then another Brahmin, through his divine eye, he see this past life who has not done any harmful actions at all. But how come after he died, he is reborn in an unhappy destination? So this divine eye Brahmin will sometimes make a conclusion. A person who does not do any harm, his deeds will not have similar kind of vipaka or consequence. He actually will be reborn in a suffering state anyway. So you can see if a person just have this limited kind of views, and sometimes they can go one step further and make certain assumptions or conclusion or views which are wrong view. For example, Brahmin who see A, who did unwholesome actions, and then he is reborn in an unhappy state. If he has a wrong view from what he sees from his divine eye, he will say, everyone who do unwholesome actions must be reborn in an unhappy destination. There is no other way. If other people say otherwise, I cannot accept it, because I see with my own divine eyes, A plus A is B, like that, So there is no other possibility that I can accept, because I can see with my own eyes. So the same goes to, another Brahmin who see B, who is doing killing, unwholesome actions, but he is born in a happy state. Then he becomes like he doesn't believe in karma anymore. It means what for? I do good. Even a person who kill also can be reborn in a happy state. So that means he said everybody who is born in a happy state is because they are doing skillful actions in the past, unwholesome actions. So he makes certain conclusion to make it like everybody follows the same case as what he see in his divine eye on one person. So he make assumption and conclusion. So this is vice versa, yeah, for the refrain of unwholesome actions, that the person who did not harm other people, he is born in a happy state, versus D, who is born in a suffering state. And then he made conclusion, everybody also had this kind of the same destination or same fate. Okay, so the Buddha said this is wrong view. So I stop here, and then we can discuss on this. What is your thought on this? Why did the Buddha say, you know, this is wrong view? But the Brahmins, four Brahmins, they see A, B, C, D differently. They strongly believe what they see because they see with their supernatural power. It cannot be wrong.
So what's the question, Suche? That
The question is, why did the Buddha say these Brahmins, even though they have divine eyes, they have wrong views?
I think the Buddha's, what he says, hang on, there's a sentence I cannot find to say. The Buddha's knowledge is what lah? Something like that. The answer is Tathagata knowledge of the great exposition of action is otherwise. So it means the Buddha knows more beyond what we see lah.
How about the others? What do you think of this? It's not easy, right? Because we tend to believe only what we see. We believe strongly what we see. That's the thing. So we get attached to what we see, and the opinion we form from what we see from our own eyes. Yeah, Kamanda says seeing is believing. We believe in that, right?
and what more with our own experience, not that you heard from someone. You see with your own experience. It's even deeper experience.
Yeah, so now the thing is, sometimes whatever we experience could be not the whole of the truth. It's only a corner of the truth, which we may form assumptions, we may form conclusion, which will assume everything is as it is, what we see. Just like we touch the elephant, we just touch the nose and we say the elephant is long. And we insist it's long. And no other people can say I'm wrong because I really touch it. I experience it. So then we are very insist on our opinion, which we feel is true because we experience it. So in this topic of karma, then the Buddha say, you know, what even if you are well practiced with concentration, with divine eyes, with supernatural power, you may not be able to fully understand the extent of karma as what the Tathagata understands. Yeah, okay.
So does it mean that at any time, we should have an open mind just to listen and observe and not form any judgment or expectation or whatever to further our understanding of situations?
Yes, we can make an assumption based on the observation, based on that means investigation, deep reflection, but let's not be attached to our understanding and take it as we fully understand the whole picture.
So it means our understanding will forever change as time pass by lah. In future, we might experience different things. So
Yeah.
even our understanding will change.
Sure, sure. This is impermanent also, right? Our understanding will also change when we acquire new understanding, new wisdom through more practice. So the Noble Eightfold Path is a gradual path anyway. So the more we understand, then the more we can actually appreciate that, the law of karma is not something that we can fully understand unless we are a Buddha, a Samma Sambuddha. The Buddha also did mention this before. Okay, let me go to the next one on the Sutta, verse 17. It says, a person killed living beings, and all wrong view. He will experience the result of that either here and now, that means the same lifetime, or in his next birth, or in some subsequent existence, or in future birth. So that means if I do my unwholesome actions in this life, I may experience the painful result in this life, or in my future life, states of existence. Okay, so I just make a pictorial representation. In this present life, I do unwholesome actions. So in my next life, I will receive painful result. This is the most general kind of understanding that we know about karma. Because of unwholesome actions, then we get unwholesome or painful result. But the Buddha said it could be another way. It may not take fruition in immediate next life. It could be in our second next life or future next life and many next life. Only then it will bear fruition. So it means the result, we may receive it immediately, this life or next life or next life or future life. So that is the uncertainties of fruition in terms of karma. Then the next one, the Buddha also said, since a person has killed and held wrong view, he appears in a happy destination. Why is it? How come he kill, he do harmful actions, but his result is happy destination? So we will say, oh, this is very unfair, right? Then the Buddha say, either he did a good action to be felt as pleasant, or later he did a good action to be felt as pleasant, or at the time of death, he acquired and undertook right view. So I just do a graphic representation. This life, he killed somebody or do unwholesome actions. However, in his next life, he was born with a happy destination, happy life. Now, this is because the Buddha say, from the previous slide, the unwholesome actions take fruition not immediately next life, it could be in future life. But then this next life, which is happy destination, is due to before his present life, that is his past life. He did something that is wholesome, or he abstained from unwholesome actions, then the fruit actually bears in this immediate next life. That's why he experienced happiness even though he performed unwholesome actions in this present life. Another possibility is after doing unwholesome actions, subsequently, still in the same life, he gained right view. Maybe he learned the Dhamma, he gained right view, and then he cultivated and he reduced his, greed, hatred, and delusion. Because of this right view, actually helped him to be reborn in a happy state in his next life. Okay, so the Buddha says this is the probability of a person's life. So that means it's not like you do bad this lifetime, immediately in the next life you will suffer. It's not that straightforward, because the fruition of the karma, it can be this life, next life, or next life. So I stop here for a moment to have some contemplation. Or Sister Yong would like to add.
There's a question here from Sister Vipaka. So she says, because of that reason, is someone doing a lot of bad things in this present life. So the last moment, if you can make this person to reflect on something good that he have done in his present life, then next time it will be good. That will be very important, right? So should we cultivate this kind of thought at the last moment? So is it that important? The last
What do
moment?
you all think? Yeah, very interesting question.
Mm.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Sometimes I also think so, but sometimes I think when at the last moment, I don't know how the mind works, how many thoughts actually arises that you can catch the right view on. I mean, this is my question. I also know it's like cultivate, sometimes in daily life you also cultivate, you prepare for your death, right? But really at the last moment, if let's say some people say it's like the video playing, your last moment, they play your life. I think there's no guarantee, even in myself at this moment. I don't know. But for those like Christianity or Islam, right, they will say you believe in God, then you go to heaven. Something like that, Lord, I relate. I don't know. I also want to know the answer.
Anyone have a good answer? Yes.
Yeah, keyword here is right view. When you have right view at the time of death, most likely the right view will actually support you to the happy destination. When you have right view, you don't have fear. You don't have unwholesome defilement. So it means in this life, even we do unwholesome actions, we can still do wholesome actions. We can still practice the Dhamma and develop our mind. I mean, that gives us hope now.
So the working of karma is quite complex. And that we have to understand. It's not so straightforward like 1 + 1 become 2.
No.
Yeah. And of course, we are conditioned by our past karma. Definitely. But more important is how we, practice so that, the right view, as Susan said, can really absorb into our life. That whatever that we do now is in accordance with the Dhamma. Yeah, and that is very, very important. Now is important. The past we cannot change already. What we do now is more important.
Yes.
Not the last moment. Don't wait until the last moment. What we do now is more important. And we can change the condition from the past. If we cannot change the condition from the past, then what happened to Angulimala? Remember? He killed so many people. You've done so many unwholesome killings with anger, with wrong view somehow. He could go to hell, right? Angulimala?
Yes.
But he became an Arahant. So what we do now in this present life is more important. To build the right view, to cultivate the normal effort path. That's the only way to get out of the samsara. No other ways. So karma, as mentioned in this sutta, is quite complex in terms of the fruition itself. The experience of the karma, the vipaka itself, the fruition, can be this life, can be next life, can be next life. We cannot control over it. Okay. So Jane,
Let me just share again. Quickly go back to this one. So another possibility is, since a person is abstaining from killing, holds right view, he appears in a happy destination. Either he did a good action to be felt as pleasant, or later he did a good action to be felt as pleasant, or at the time of death, he acquired and undertook right view. So that means present life, he did wholesome actions or refrained from unwholesome actions. And he's reborn in a happy state in next life, or it could be in the second next life or next life. And this immediate next life with the happy result it could be due to the present life action, or it could be due to past life wholesome actions. So we don't know. We can see the result and we make assumption it's immediate present, but it could be from the past. So that means this fruition may not bear fruit in the next life. It could be the second next life or next life. So karma is not just immediately bear fruition immediately. And it could be our past life that contribute to our next life happy result, or it could be because of present life you have acquired right view, then it bears fruit in this next life. So the next one is about a person abstaining from killing. Okay, he appears in a happy destination. Okay, now, but the problem is when he dies, he may be reborn in a painful destination. Then if we just see this one-to-one, we say, oh, we don't believe in karma. What's the point of doing wholesome actions? Because it will bear painful result. But we don't know. It could be these wholesome actions will only bear fruit in our next life, second next life, or future next life. And this painful result is due to our past life, which we have done unwholesome actions that bear fruits in this immediate next destination. Or it's because after we have done wholesome action in our present life, but because we acquire wrong view, then we bear the fruition of next life with painful result. Okay, another one is this is just a conclusion to say, the same, a person who has done unwholesome actions, he could be reborn in a woeful state or in a happy state. The same as a person who has refrained from unwholesome actions, he could be reborn in a happy state or in a deprivation or unhappy destination. Yeah, I think the explanation is because we don't only see 2 lifetimes, there are many lifetimes. So Kamma, Vipaka, they actually complement each other throughout many lifetimes. They don't just bear fruition in 1 or 2 lifetimes only. So that's all for my sharing. Thank you.
Thank you, Suchen, Sadhu. And Sister Kamata has a few questions in the chat. How about karmic took place present life? That is possible. Are you saying that the experience, the fruits of the karma within this life? No, that is possible.
Yeah, I asked that because in the presentation I didn't see anything talk about present. We only talk about next life, so that's why I asked that at the point of time. Yeah.
Yes. In the Sutta, it mentioned present life, and then immediate next life.
Okay. And you have a few more questions, Kamanta. Right view with repentance place as well. You mean that if you make repentance, is it right view, is it?
I think it's on the second slide. Someone actually did something unwholesome, or past is I think that's one of the slide. So I think then it says that when next life come, unwholesome, the next life come is actually a good life, something like that. So how can that person, let's say last life is not doing good, but then this life become good? I'm sure there must be also some repentance acts coming. Because I think Mahayana, they spoke a lot about repentance. After they, talked about karma, yes, we don't know, because we don't know how it comes about, right? It can be past life, and past life. So for them, they focus on just repentance. So I was wondering, for us, how do we actually do our repentance in this case as well? Because it cannot be just from the thoughts, or when you say actions. Yeah. That's what I wanted to ask about repentance.
Suchen, you want to answer?
Yeah, I think repentance is useful because if it is heartfelt, it's aware of letting go of our guilt, hiri otapa, guilt and shame, so that we can move forward by making aspiration to not to repeat the harmful actions anymore. I think the key point is still aspiration and determination not to repeat the harmful actions. That is also powerful, more powerful.
Okay.
Maybe I would like to add on about Fanny, you have something to say?
Yeah, I do a lot of this because I joined Mayani's group also. I realized that when you do that, right, you put down yourself, you become very humble, and you know the human nature. We, out of like great hatred and delusion, we perform a lot of acts. Then I realized when I read one of the book by the Saidoji, Chamya Saido, I relate it in this way. Actually, we do it also in Theravadian. We ask for forgiveness. Because Saido did mention, if we don't ask for forgiveness through our teacher, we cannot progress. So this is how I relate. These two are no difference. So this is what I do. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm about to add just now with what Fanny has mentioned. Asking for forgiveness is also a kind of repentance. Yeah, I'm also a kind of person who, within my capacity, I try to so-called participate some of these Mahayana's prayers also, including the repentance, to experience it, to understand what is it. Now, I joined one of the repentance service. And then, there's a lot of chanting. And if you read the sutta, the chanting of repentance, actually, it tells us that, about karma. Why people, fall into the hell or into animals realm because of such and such unwholesome deeds they have done. And because of this deeds bring them to unwholesome realms. And therefore, you have to cultivate good deeds, right? And try to cultivate the right views, to strengthen your views and practice the correct way, or according to the Dhamma, so that you will gain enough merits to be reborn in a good realm. Yeah, of course, if you do not have a capacity to do it now, then whatever that so-called the relative of the person who already departed, right, do some good deeds, can actually share the merits with you. And that is one of the sutta that I share with you. I think the last one, 3.5. Yeah, what happened to the departed one? Yeah, can they really bear the benefits that we do on behalf of them or not? Which I think I wanted to share, but now we have only 10 minutes left. In our class, I always find that not enough time to share. So, okay, I will share with you afterwards about the sutta, because it's 7 months, right? You want to know also, if I do this service for our departed relative, but does it help them or not? You also want to know. Okay, it's one of the slides which I will share. So, Sujin, you have anything to add? Yeah, about repentance? No, yeah. Okay, and then Kamanta, you have a lot of questions. One last question.
It's okay.
Yeah.
That one is just merely trying to relate, but
no
it's okay,
problem.
not important in the moment.
We see whether can answer.
Okay, Sister Yong, you carry on. Yeah, thank you.
Muslims always go to pray 5 times a day. Thinking right view, right thoughts can change. Unwholesome action discounted. I think you're talking about that you have done bad deeds, and then you're trying to do a lot of good deeds to make it balance a bit, so that you won't experience the bad karma. Is it related to this question?
Yeah, it's just like every day is a mass 5 times, right? So I will always wonder, but of course I did check with some of the Muslim friends. That's what I think there is a period every day they do a repentance as well, to pause and be reminded as well. So, but they're doing this as well. So I think maybe it's also a good thing that Buddhists also use this. If let's say we cannot be always, it's not like just being mindful when you sit down.
In Ariya now, we know that there are 8 preceptors and also the Samaneri who's practicing with Ayas Mangala at Ariya, especially these 3 months WhatsApp. So what they do is every evening they will chant, definitely they will chant Metta Sutta. Don't mind, I share with you the Metta Sutta, which I think is very, very helpful in our practice. Okay, there is a reason, because chanting is not for the sake of chanting for Buddhists. So when they perform chanting, it helps them a lot in a way that it reflected, what they have done. Is it according to Dhamma or not according to Dhamma? Let me see whether I open the slide or not. See. I think for the benefits of everyone, it's good to learn about Metta Sutta. Okay. Let me share the slide. Okay, this is the start of the Karaniya Metta Sutta. Okay. He who is skilled in doing good and wishes to attain the state of Nibbana should act thus. He should be able, upright, perfectly upright. That means good, obedient, gentle, and humble. So when we do the chanting, right? So we reflect on ourselves. Do I have these qualities? Yeah, do I have this? Obedient, gentle, and humble. And especially for the monastic members. Yeah. Contented, easily supportable, with few duties, simple in livelihood, control in senses, discreet, prudent, and not greedily attached to families, especially for the monastic members. And for us, householders, we can also try to reduce our attachment to families. He should not commit any slight wrong, not many slight wrong, any slight wrong, that otherwise men might find fault with him. May all beings be well and safe. May their hearts be happy. So imagine if you do this every day, 5 times a week, 5 times a day. I think you keep on reminding yourself, sure, you will be good, you will be progressing in the path. Right? And this is only part of the Karaniya Metta Sutta. Yeah? And that is why the monastic members are doing chanting every day. Yeah? So some people cannot take it, why so much chanting, morning chant, evening chant? But there's a reason, for us to reflect on all this, especially on our own actions and cultivation. Okay, so let's continue with our slide. And we have only about 5 minutes left. Okay, so Sister Suja has covered the Sutta on Kamma Vipaka Sutta, which is in Majjhima Nikaya, okay, 136. I think the dog ascetic, let's cover it a bit. Did I have any slide on this? Yeah, I just want to highlight a few points because when I gave you the Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya 57, I gave you also the notes, right? I think the 3.4a is a Sutta and 3.4b is the notes and the footnotes to the Sutta. And I just want to highlight a few points about these footnotes to the dog ascetic. In 600, yeah, the Punya, that is the dog ascetic, he wore horns on his head, tied a tail to his backside, and went about eating grass together with the cows. I mean, this is not a dog ascetic, Punya, he's a cow ascetic. They do it in such a way to imitate fully like he's a cow, with tails at his back. And Saniya perform all actions typical for a dog. What the dog eats, he eats. If the dog eats dung, they will also eat the dung. Okay, that is how the dog ascetic will perform. And this is dangerous. Yeah. So that's why I brought out the discussion about the non-binary, trend. Yeah. So we think that this is very trendy, so we imitate. This is wrong view. Okay. Of course, if it's within, as I said, LGBTQ topic is a bit complicated to discuss. But let them, it's a good, it's a good opportunity to let the children read this sutta and give their understanding. Don't just follow because other people do, and you must cultivate what is right view and what is wrong view. Understand thoroughly before you choose the path.
What
Okay.
is this? Sorry.
This is the notes on the dog ascetic, Majjhima Nikaya.
Uh-huh.
So I will share with you afterwards. Yeah. Okay. And one of the things that I want to mention about something to add for suttas, this sutta Majjhima Nikaya one, sorry, the one that Kamma Vipaka Sutta that the Sujen shared. Okay. I think there is one paragraph on if there's any action which will bring about the not present nor unpleasant experience. So these are considered mutual actions, isn't it? Mutual actions. Therefore, mutual experience. Remember in the last session, I say, in the sutta that I read, there is black karma, that means black action, I mean unwholesome actions. White karma, which is the good actions. And then there is also the good, the black karma, and the white karma. There's no something in between those sutta that I read. But this sutta, apparently it tells us about neutral, right? Unintentional neutral action. Yeah, if you read through the lines of unintentional, what to call that, action, which will bring about pleasant, not pleasant nor unpleasant results. It's considered neutral, isn't it? Remember, I brought the example of turning on the switch. Is it an wholesome action or is it unwholesome action? It could be also neutral action, isn't it? Which will bring about, something is not pleasant nor unpleasant. I'll consider it as neutral in that sense.
It depends on your intention.
Yes, yes. So there is this sutta, the Kamma Vipaka Sutta, bring about this line about intention action, which will bring a neutral experience. That means it's a neutral karma in that sense. Okay? Right? So this is one evidence from the sutta. There is such a thing called neutral. That you know that the result is going to be neutral. You know very well that the result is neutral, so your action is neutral action. Okay? Just to add on this sutta itself. So dog ascetic, as I said, it's quite a long sutta also. You can read through again to understand, in deeper sense, especially with the notes. Okay, and in the sutta, the dog ascetic, it mentioned about actually 10 kind of actions, which is body, through body, speech, and mind, which is related to the 10 wholesome actions that we discussed previously. Okay, remember the 3 bodily actions, unwholesome bodily actions, which are killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct. And the 4, verbal actions, which is unwholesome, right? The 4 kinds of speech. And 3, unwholesome mental karma, which is related to great hatred and delusion, wrong views. Okay, right? There's just a quick one about this sutta, I think the 3.5a that I've given to you. This sutta tell us that, they are feelings which arises, due to wind, due to flame, bow. These are what kind of feelings? What kind of feeling? Is it body or is it
Body.
mental? This is body feelings, right? So very, very clearly, this is body feelings. And imbalance related to body also. Imbalance due to wind, the flame, the bow, causing the body to be imbalanced. This is also a kind of body feelings. Yeah. So climate also give you feelings. If some people like rainy days, some people don't like rainy days. Yeah. And you have feelings which is caused by careless, right? So you are mopping the floor and it's very wet and super wet, right? And people are not careful, or they step on it and then they slip and then they fell, right? So due to carelessness, people fell, people hurt themselves or causing harms to others, right? Due to carelessness. And assault, the sutta mentioned, there's also the feelings caused by assaulted by someone else. So not all feelings caused by karma, yeah. You cannot blame, oh, all my feelings are karma. Right? So remember this about the niyama things that we discussed in the lesson 1. This is in the Abhidhamma, yeah, commentaries. It mentioned about, the world, how the system, this universe or this world works. Not only the karma, that the law of karma works in this world system, but there's also other laws, the seasons, the law of the seasons, how the rain come about, and not because of karma, yeah, but because of the seasons.
Nature, isn't it?
Yeah. And also, the seeds, the genetic side, the mango seed will grow mango tree. You will not grow rambutan tree out of the mango seed. So this is something biological, not because of karma. Right? There's also this is the law of karma, the actions, which is related to ethics. There's also how the mind works. We have so of course this is the view of the Abhidhamma, where you have the mental factors, yeah, and you also have the mind. Yeah, you can have both the good mental factors or the unwholesome mental factors. How your mind works. Okay, this is the how the mind works. Okay, and the constraint of the Dhamma related to natural phenomena like the gravity and some very special phenomena like how in the commentaries it says, like when the Bodhisattva was born, when the Buddha gained his enlightenment, it's also a special phenomena that happened in the world system where there's an earthquake, for example. The Dhamma can be interpreted in many ways. It can be phenomena, general phenomena. It can be very specific phenomena, because Dhamma is not only the teaching of the Buddha. It also means phenomena, right? Natural phenomena. So you see, the Abhidhamma already discussed about this, the seasons, the law of the biological law, yeah, the mind, and the phenomena in the world system. So this sutta telling us that, when we have feelings, we don't blame anything to do karma. Yeah, it can be due to, like, say, well, we cannot say that, when your body is imbalanced, it's nothing to do with karma. Well, it can be conditioned like karma. A weak person, born very weak, it's not, his body is always get sick, for example. Well, it could be his karma, that he gets sick easily. But think about it, when you're already a weak person, when the weather is cold, right? So we have to warm up yourself, right? Instead of, leave everything to karma. This is not right. Okay, because the Buddha says common sense. Not everything is karma. It can be conditioned by karma, but you don't blame anything to karma. Yeah, these are all related to the season, right? Due to our body punya conditions. So we have to take care of our own body. You don't blame karma. You must take care of yourself. Eat the proper food. Yeah? If you have very bad digestion, then you should try to avoid food which is oily, yeah, which is fried kind of a food. Yeah, you have to eat food which is fresh to keep yourself, your body, healthy. And so you say if you blame everything karma, this is also wrong view. Okay, and you have to be very careful. Don't cause harm to others because of careless negligence. Yeah, so we have to take care of all this common sense. Right? So not only the karma that cause you to have such feelings, especially the body feelings. Yeah. Part of it, you find that is related to what the Abhidhamma commentaries has mentioned. Okay, and this is in the sutta, the 3.5a that I given to you earlier. Well, we have come to the end of the class over time again. I have actually 2 more suttas which I can share with you later, yeah, in the next lesson. Okay. So, Jenna, I pass back to you.
Sister Yong got question or how?
Yeah, okay, Fanny.
Actually, when I see this one, the niyamas and this, right, I always have a question because I come from a background where we stress a lot on karma. Like you say, because maybe it's the karma conditions, but not everything is because of karma, right? This something is like, I need to have a paradigm shift because it's like, right? But just take an incident to like the aeroplane, you know, crash in Klang, the day, right, Subang or what, right?
Yeah.
To me, it's like, I cannot, like, okay, you say accident, okay, maybe due to accident, due to whatever, right? But I cannot say karma is not there. I still cannot, how to say, change my perception. Yeah, karma, like, it's really in me. It's like, I believe that if it's not that karma, he wouldn't be there. Let's say the notorious, right? So, actually, I don't know how to ask this question, no, but I know whenever I see niyamas, I got this question in my mind. No, I know you say, I know the Buddha says there are other factors that influence this, what do you call it?
Condition.
Universe or what? I don't know how
The law of karmas and the law of the other niyamas. Yeah.
What is this niyama is like, is the Dhamma, maybe is the truth, is the facts, right? We say, right? But is it like they are intertwined or any? I still think that if it's not because of karma, that person wouldn't be there. I'm not sure whether I'm right, lah.
For one thing, we are conditioned by our past karma. That is correct to say. We are conditioned. Yeah. But it doesn't mean that you know, our present karma is not important. Now, an incident happened. It could be because of that past karma. Well, it could be also like as you say, the intervention about someone is being careless. Well, I have this thought, you know, when this accident happened, how come it's only 300 meters above, you know, the land, that it crashes? It could be suddenly the pilot has a heart attack, you know. It could be, but we wouldn't know what happened, right? But as I said, yeah, it's likely it is because of the past karma. Yeah, but I don't have a divine eye or psychic to really, you know, see through and tells you that, oh, because of that karma, he has a short life, he has to die in an accident. I can't tell you that too.
Yeah, so I think after your sharing, right, I just take it as what you share with me, something new to my, you know, learning. And yeah, it's like karma is one of it. It's not all of it, you know. And then it's like, sometimes I find like after attending class, it's like no point to argue, to analyze, you know, because it's like, it's so complex, right? But understand is good enough. But we focus on what we can do, right? Okay, at this stage of my learning. And I have another question, a few more questions. Before I ask the Dhamma, next session, I think because it's a long holiday, I think I have a retreat that I don't think I can rush back. So I wish that if we can change it, and I know maybe some other sister, maybe they join retreat also. This is my second questions, okay? Third, about this, I reading this sutta, right? The second question, maybe we discuss later. This third question is like, when a person do good, then he may be reborn in a woeful state, okay? So, okay, he's do good, but maybe or something, you know, because he born in a woeful state. My question is, when this individual born in that woeful state, the chances of doing unwholesome actions, is it increased? Because that's very dangerous, because if a person want to cultivate, and by any chance he fall into a woeful state, so continue creating bad karma, or how to like turn it back into a supporting environment that you can continue to cultivate?
This is a quick answer, yeah. I think that depends. Okay. Depend where is this person was reborn. If he's in a hell, likely there's no chance for him to do good deeds in the hell, because you just have to experience the bad karma. And similarly in the heaven, well, I don't know about heaven, but from the text I read that, you know, in the heaven, basically there's a lot of enjoyment, sense of pleasures. Not much of opportunity to do good also. Okay, except if if they are born in, like, say, Tusita heaven, we read a lot about Tusita heaven, whereby, you know, the Bodhisattva was teaching there. So I believe if the Bodhisattva is teaching there, then people must be practicing there, right? If the Bodhisattva was teaching there, Okay, so again, it depends. But if you're born as a human realm, I think it's a very good chance for this person to, to really transform himself, even though the environment is not supporting him to do good. Yeah, but he can transform himself.
But my question is,
yes,
Sister Yong, is like, when you are born in a woeful state, the chance, is it like there for a person to further create unwholesome deeds? Is
you
that
mean in human realm?
No, in any realm there's unwholesome. wholesome.
Likely,
Like in the,
from a text that I read and commentaries that I read, like in the hell, it's basically you can't do much. You just have to experience.
okay.
You just have to experience the sufferings.
So it means beings in the woeful state, he will, let's say you say hell, he will experience that friction. It's like that. Vipaka. But he wouldn't have like create further bad karma, right?
Yeah, from a text, commentaries, it says not a chance that.
What about like animal realm or?
That is what I wanted to share now. You see, I have an interesting question from one teenagers. Because people nowadays, they like to keep pets, right? And she told this teenager told me, cat can do very smart. He can do everything. I was like, can do everything as smart as human being? I said, it's not possible. And this teenage couldn't believe it. He said, cat can learn. I said, a human, we say, I share with this, about the incident of spaceship that Apollo went to the moon in 1969, am I right? Okay. At the time, there's no air condition, no aircon. And they have to suffer a lot of heat when in a spaceship in 1969. I don't know how many years later, we have this called aircon things, right? Then only we enjoy aircon, right? But how many years it took us to invent this aircon thing? It takes us many years, could be 100 years, for human beings to develop such thing called aircon. Don't talk about aeroplane. Can a cat take 100 years to create a plane? To create an air condition? It's not possible, isn't it? Don't think about something ethical. Just think about the intelligence to create things. They are not in par with human beings. Yeah. What more doing ethical things? So, Fanny, I'm not sure whether I answered your question or not.
I see something very different from you. Thank you for your sharing, because I see that I look at the negative side. It's like prevent of doing bad karma. But I see your answer is very great that I have to learn. It's like you are looking at the opportunity of creating good karma instead of like.
And the intelligence, understanding and the intelligence.
Okay,
the animals realm, not in par with human beings, even though we are in the same similar world system.
Yeah, but I think something to learn from you. This one. Third one, last one. I see somewhere in the sutta, this one or last week, it says about, Buddha says that suffering is because of impermanence, right? Correct, somewhere. But sometimes I realize if impermanence is the truth, is the facts, what is that suffering about? But then I heard, I more of like suffering is due to cravings, right? So could you like share this? Because it's like if you know things
suffering is due to craving, okay?
Yes, that one is like more makes sense to me.
Okay, a very good example. I can't remember the sutta. I was trying to look for it. This man asked the Buddha, can you tell me something simple, not too philosophical, something very practical for me. So the Buddha told him about suffering, suffering due to feelings, right? So he said, if someone who is very near to you, your close family member, pass away, will you feel sad? So I'll be feeling very sad, I'll be crying, mourning for this person because I love this person. But if someone else who are not near to you, could be your own enemies, if this person died, will you feel sadness? Will you feel suffering? Will you feel, unhappiness? You don't know. I will feel okay, neutral, because this person is nothing to do with me. So what is that making you to be very sad or neutral? It's because of what, Fanny?
Attachment. Craving. But then my
Very,
question
very,
is,
yes.
why is it in the sutta, Buddha says suffering is because of impermanence? Actually, it's because of craving, right?
Mhm.
So my question is, why is it that
Yeah.
I read somewhere?
So because if our loved one will never die, so it's permanent. We always together with our loved one. That is permanent, right? Always together, never leave each other. They never die. That is permanent. So we'll be happy. But problem is, people will die, or I will die first, or my loved one will die first. So it's impermanence. Because of impermanence, we cannot let go. That's why we suffer. We are sad.
Okay, I
You
think
see the point?
I see what's your point. I
Because
also
things
know
are changing.
The craving is the important part of it.
But more important is in general terms about impermanence is about the five aggregates. Because these five aggregates keep on changing in terms of the form, in terms of our sankara, our feelings, our perception, our consciousness keep on changing. Cannot find something permanent in these five aggregates. And we're clinging to these five aggregates and this is me, this is mine, this is I, therefore we're suffering. I thought this is my feeling, but this is not mine.
So it means actually when Buddha says suffering is due to impermanence, is he referring to these five aggregates, right?
So when you see the impermanence and you're not attached to it, and you see the phenomena happening, here and now, the five aggregates, you see the impermanence, and you're not craving because you know that this is impermanence, and you're not craving to it, then you're free from suffering.
Okay, I got it. Thank you, Sister.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we have to pass back to Gianna. Fanny gave a suggestion to postpone the next session to another time. I will need to refer it to the organizer. I think Sister Andrea, will come back to you on this. Okay. So Gianna, I pass back to you.
Thank you very much, Sister Yong. Let us now pay respect to the Triple Gem by bowing 3 times first. First bow. Second bow. Third bow.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.